Hello and welcome to Live Coding Happy Hour on this beautiful Friday, March the 5th. That's right. We are really excited to be here with you today, and we've got a good show. But before we get into it, let's do some introductions. Chuck.
Hey, I'm Chuck Tomasi, Senior Developer Advocate at ServiceNow. Been here since 2010, was a customer for a couple of years before that, and my history goes even further back, but we won't talk about that today. So great to be here. We've already had our obligatory mess up, so Jeremy has nothing to worry about, because seconds before we went live, we realized Brad was muted. It would have been one of those silent intros where you see lips moving, but that's par for the course on this show, I think. We have to have something go wrong. I'm glad we got it out of the way already. I've already mentioned his name, the man right there on the bottom of your screen. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hey folks, Jeremy Duncan here, platform architect here at ServiceNow on our workflow design studio team. Started as a customer 9 years ago, drank the Kool-Aid, fell in love, and still here talking about our wonderful platform. So thanks for having me today. And I guess back to you, Brad.
And co-host of Tech Now.
Yeah,
don't forget.
That's right.
We're getting a little cross-pollination here.
That's right.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, my name is Brad Tilton. I am a developer advocate with the developer program here at ServiceNow. I've been developing on the platform for, I don't know, since 2008. And I've been a customer, partner, and employee now for the last 4. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. Excited to get into what we have to get into today. But before we get into it, let's introduce our drinks.
I guess it means I go first. I have whatever was left in the refrigerator. It is an Oak Creek. It's from the Oak Creek Brewing Company. It is a nut brown ale, and the cap even has a flag of Arizona upside down. There we go. So it is a local beer. You can tell by the cap, I guess. I'll be looking forward to that. Jeremy, what do you got?
I don't have a pretty label. I got a ServiceNow label, but I've got New Amsterdam's Pink Lady with Fresca. So a good combination for all you fruity drinkers. So.
We're all labeled ServiceNow. Underneath, I've got the same t-shirt as Brad.
We've all got it.
And we didn't send the memo out, guys. We really didn't.
It's a comfy one.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I've got, I'm excited about today's. I've got this Avery Brewing barrel-aged tweak. It's stout with coffee and aged in bourbon barrels. We'll see how it is. I randomly saw it at the store the other day and thought it would be
you and your barrel-aged stuff, man. I'm going to have to move to your neighborhood.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. Jeremy, do you want to let us know what we're working on today?
Yeah, for sure. So with Quebec, you got a lot of fun features coming out. We've all been building apps on our platform even before all the fancy things like new features that we're getting and have had in the recent past. UI builder, workspace, all the fun stuff that's coming. Right, we got a lot of technology. And we're not short of technology in the Quebec release. We're giving you the ability to better manage pushing your applications between instances and getting it up to production without having to touch update sets. So today we're going to kind of show how that works out. So I'm going to go ahead and do my screen. Let me do my screen share.
Without update sets, that deserves the cheer.
Yeah, right. So I'm sharing my screen here. So we're going to kind of start this story in the ServiceNow store. So many of you all have probably been out perusing the store, checking out some cool stuff to download. Well, a lot of what we're doing nowadays with entitled applications are you're getting them from the store and not from your plugins list. So get used to and comfortable with this way of grabbing your applications. But just to kind of show you where we're starting today, I'm simulating this because it does take a little bit to get the application into your instance. But just kind of going, looking at something like vaccine administration management, that's a hot topic right now. So you, like myself, would go in, type in your instance name. All right, validate it. And it's saying I'm not compatible because actually I'm on a Quebec release. This is only capable for Paris. But I'm just showing you this as kind of walking you through that. As you can see down the list below, I actually requested that application before I upgraded to Quebec. So it's just kind of walking you through that. So we're going to fast forward and assume that, hey, the app has made it to my instance.
Are you pulling a cooking show on us?
I am pulling a cooking show. You're the bartender, I'm the chef. All right, so the rest of this demonstration, I'll be showing between two instances. So we've got an author instance here, all right? So your dev instance basically, and then we will have your client instance, which I thought I had. Let me pull that up.
Oh, it's off the screen, but can you change the theme? Well, it won't matter in studio, will it?
No.
Darn.
Sorry.
That's all right.
But
just let us know when you switch.
Yeah, I could have changed the theme colors at least before I got into studio. But good point. So I'll kind of talk you through author versus client. So we'll start in the author instance, and we're going to go ahead and pop open the Studio IDE. And we'll jump right into opening the application from the store that we want to modify. So automatically you're starting to see something new, right? Starting to see a new flavor here in the Studio IDE. So I'm going to select the store app to customize. Obviously you could create your own application, extend something that's existing, push those updates using either ServiceNow source control or Git, whatever your method is, right? You can do that. But today we're going to be selecting that store app. Again, much like a cooking show, you're not going to see the vaccine management app. We're going to see one that we've got for our testing purposes. So for the sake of that, we're going to use this AFI ORI store 2. Again, we are in the author instance doing this. So we're going to.
So the reason you don't see vaccine app is that because it's not entitled for someone to make edits?
The reason you're not seeing it in this particular author instance is because it's a demo instance and not connected to Hi. So I couldn't pull that application down. But for our customers, for folks who are doing this in their managed instances, you should be able to have that capability to pull something from the store and open it just like I did to make modifications.
Are all the stores and out-of-box apps going to be editable?
No.
Okay.
No, and you'll have ServiceNow provided applications, and obviously you'll have partner supplied applications, and really it's a per use case basis whether they're going to let modifications happen to their applications or not.
So Phil says, do you have to enable entitlement app dev settings, or is it available just by installing the app? The author, I believe, is the one that sets that, right? Whoever publishes it says, I hereby allow you to extend, because some authors who publish to the store may go, hey, don't mess with our stuff. We won't be able to support that. Others may go, yeah, go for it. We put extension points on this and want you to do that.
Yep, absolutely. So today we're going to play with one that has been allowed to have those extension points.
Just real quick, I want to show people something. Go over to the main classic window and go to sysapp_list.
Let me pop open another one.
That's all right. Pick one.
Yeah. Author. All right. Tell me that again, Chuck.
It's a sys_app.list.
Okay.
And I don't know, pick one. I really don't care. There's a field in this thing that now says,
yeah,
can you extend or not? So open one of those babies up. I think it's, where was it? Not restrict table choices. So that was down. Where was that, Brad? Am I imagining things?
I'm not sure.
It was a checkbox. It says, not application administration, licensable. Phooey. Maybe if you do show XML, or maybe this isn't a store app. I don't know.
This is definitely not a store app.
Oh yeah, it may only show up on if you go sys_store_.
It was a sys_store_ app?
Yeah,
Okay.
so
I
if
thought it
it's
was
in
here.
development, it's in sysapp. If you've installed it, it's under sys_store.
Oh, is that how that works? I often wondered how they knew where they were coming from.
And then one of them's extended.
Pick one of
from the other.
these. And let's see, shared internally. I'm looking for checkboxes.
Restrict table choice. Yeah, I don't know.
Huh. I know I saw it. It was something like editable, entitlement, or changeable, whatever it was.
It can't edit in Studio, obviously, that one.
That might be it.
Oh, that may be it.
I think that's it.
Yeah, this one's set to false. So
Okay. And there might be a UI policy somewhere that says, don't show it if it's false. I don't know.
yeah, they definitely talk about that in the docs. I saw that actually when I was going through this, where you can change your application that you've created to allow that to edit in Studio. So
We got smart, hardcore people here that can read XML. We don't need it on the form. All right, thanks.
Yeah. So we've got this store application pulled up. We want to make a change. So this is a change that we want to push to our next environment. For the sake of the demo, we'll just do something simple. We'll do a business rule. All right. Although the business rules can get a little complicated. Kind of keeping with the theme here, we're gonna do something super cool. So super cool business rule. All right. And remember that name because I want you to validate.
Super cool business rule.
Yeah.
It even rhymes. Wow, you're a poet.
Yeah, know it and didn't know it. So keep that in your mind just to validate that what I'm saying is happening is actually happening. So we created a super cool business rule in our application. All right. And so now, assuming we've gotten everything that we want to get done and we want to push that, right? Push that as an app update. Let's go ahead and choose publish.
One would have thought that table should have been a mandatory field in a business rule.
One would think, actually, and just to be safe,
what good would that do you?
We'll go ahead and deactivate that, right? Yeah. All right, so we're going to publish that change. All right, so we've got our application, FIORI store 2. We've got our base version. All right, and that'll be important if your base version changes before you can push that to the next environment. That next environment will have to upgrade, right? So we're on base version 2, and we're going to increment to 4.2.4 as our customized version. And we added a super cool business rule. All right.
All right.
And we're going to submit. And assuming that I got my number correct, meaning, my version is not one that already exists in another instance, which goes over as your source control tag. Assuming that's all good, then we should get green lights for pushing this application. So we saw a success there.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, publishing to my application repository, success. All right, now that's not Git, right? That's your ServiceNow app repo.
So it's in your own private store. Now you can go and install it, right?
Correct. That's the hope, right? We're gonna
now you're on the client,
right? Client,
which would be your prod or your test or your not dev instance.
Correct. All right. So where do you think I should go to install this, Chuck? You think I should go to Studio?
My applications or my company applications, what is it?
Yeah, okay.
It's under system applications. It's the big list.
Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go under. I was just testing you. System applications, all available applications.
I've been using that. I've been using the app repo for a while to keep my karaoke app and my Jeopardy app and my TechNow apps up to date.
Yeah.
So I am a fan of the app repo.
Yeah, and don't get confused, right? It's not going to be available to obtain from the stores. You didn't push it to the store. You're pushing it between your app repos and between your instances.
You're pushing the diffs, so you still need the base application loaded into this instance, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Right. And all right, so we've got our AFIORI store 2. We do have our base version. Let me jump up for a second, though, just to kind of demonstrate what I meant based on the actual base version. So you've got two. So for instance, the store 1 app, we didn't modify that, but there are some modifications to that application that need to be pushed over to our production instance. But before I can do that, right, which the customized version is on 3.0.2, I have to update my base version to that. Okay, it will not let me install this update on the currently installed version. Okay, so it kind of gives you that notification there.
So that scenario is for like if I have an app and then whether it's ServiceNow or a store partner has made an update to it and pushed a new version, and I want to build on the new version, that's the base version is the version from the store, and then my customized version is my own customizations. Yeah,
generally we would recommend that you keep your customized versions in line. Like I would expect to see customized version 202, base version 201. Because it might get tough to track which base goes with which customized version. You can mismatch them, as you clearly see here. But as a best practice, I would say keep that customized version 2 dot something until the base version goes to 3 dot something.
Yeah. Good point. All right. So in this instance, we are seeing 4.2.4. That is what I pushed over. So it's relatively quick. You saw it maybe took 15 seconds to jump over into the instance, explain where we were. So now we're going to go through the process of updating and install.
I can't tell you how many times I hit update and walk away because mine takes about 10 seconds for that install button to come up. Like, come back later and go, oh, I haven't even started.
Now, obviously, I only have one. That's right. Obviously, I only had one business rule. You can do
a total of 8 files in that repo.
Right.
Mine's more like 1,600.
Right. Super small changes applied, right, with your upgrade details here, but you can't click into that.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to close. And we're going to do a quick validation. So I should see that business rule in my application if everything's correct, right? Got the new version installed. Let's jump over in Studio. It's a quick way. And look, we have our super cool business rule.
Hey, you get one of these.
All right. So that explains the process, Chuck, of bringing
Well, that was the shortest show we'd ever have, but you're not done yet, I hope.
Well, I mean, we could go play around with different updates. I can also show, and let's walk through that process, right? What we just did was, so we're back over in our author instance, okay? So what we did was we pulled that store application from ServiceNow theoretically, right, from the store to customize. But you also, like I mentioned earlier, have the ability to create that application from scratch. Again, you may be extending some tables or whatever, so theoretically extending another application. But let's walk through that process because you as a customer, you as a partner, you've got your app repo, which by the way is configurable from. Let me see if I get this right. Here, right? You have access to your app repository. Okay.
So on store.servicenow.com.
Yep.
Yeah. You got some basic administration rights to that. I don't know if everybody knew that. It's not just for go give me this app or go update this app.
Right. So that's great for you because again, getting out of the world of update sets. I know some of you have been using Git, using a repo, but this does kind of skip a step and make things a little bit simpler. So we'll say, let's see, Karaoke. Jeremy, we'll do Jeremy's karaoke app.
We got a question from Phil. I'm not going to let it go. I just want to acknowledge it's there, but we'll come back to that. He's saying, what if some changes were made outside of the app push via update sets? Can we still use the upgrade?
So it's a great question. I would say you can still use the update. You're just not going to capture the change that came over in an update set. You'd still have to migrate that from the update set.
Brad, any thoughts on that?
What if we go into our test instance and just directly edit that business rule, and then come back into the dev instance here, make a change, and try to push it and see what kind of conflict detection it does?
Yeah.
My understanding is whatever you're changing in Studio is, and if somebody happens to turn on an update set and say, start recording changes to update set Jeremy 1.
Right.
They're still being recorded in the app repo. You could do a push later. Those changes will still be recognized as changes, even though you may have already sent them down the pipeline with update sets. So you haven't lost anything. It's still keeping track of them in a secondary place.
So we can make some changes. So back to your point, Brad, you're like, hey, let's make some changes to our theoretical production environment here.
What? People making changes outside of dev? I can't believe it happens.
It doesn't. It's never. I'm just speaking.
I almost did it today. I almost did a list layout. I went, no, don't do that.
All right. So Brad, as far as the setting me up here, the author instance, do you want me to make a change to this business rule or something else and see if it catches it?
No, let's do some serious conflict.
Rule.
Yeah. Make it advanced.
So do it. Let's do a different table, maybe. Right.
There we go.
Change approval. It's still deactivated. Maybe we'll.
Hey, where'd the related list go? The tabs.
I was just wondering the same
tabs
thing.
are gone.
Maybe I have to save it. I don't know. Let's see. Bug.
Or because it had no table. Well, you did change the table.
I did. Oh, I see web. Oh, it went away.
Okay,
maybe does it have to be active too?
Maybe. Let's see.
No, for the tabs to show up?
No. Boo.
It's weird.
Charn, something's up with your instances.
Yeah, very well could be that. All right, so we've made quite a few changes that are contrary to what we've got in the other instance, right? So we're going to publish again. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then see what happens when you try to install it.
Phil says, let's break some stuff. And that's right. Let's break some stuff on the show so that you don't have to break stuff on your own instance.
All right. Got my source control right. Let's see. Or got my versioning, excuse me. All right. She says success. Well, let's go see what happens in the client instance.
Good size audience today.
They saw I was here. They wanted to come see me.
They're Jeremy fans. Yes, they are.
I told you I invited like everybody I know. So it's like 4 people. So
this guy's church Bible study watching.
My updates haven't come. Let's see what happened. Did I not wait the 15 seconds? I feel like I did. That's such an arbitrary number, by the way. So
we need a Bible study because there's certainly a lot of praying we do on this show.
That's right. All right, we got 4.2.5.
Okay, so what happened to your business rule? Did it just overwrite it? Or?
I don't know.
We haven't updated yet.
Yeah, we haven't updated it yet. But
okay.
I think what I'd like to see, kind of what I wanted to know earlier, is we've got release notes.
Oh, check it out.
You know, I feel like there should be something that I can look at before. Well, let's just hit update. Let's
want a preview?
Let's cook. Hey, right. Let's like move an update sets.
I think most release managers would like a preview.
Oh, it says success.
Let's see what happens.
Hold on. I want to see this record. Let's see here. Updated.
Script.
Changes applied.
There it is.
There it is. Ooh.
Okay. It might have blindly just blasted it.
Oh, I think it did. Let's go look at the related record.
And Upside Down Andrew says you got a skip record in the install log. Oh, no, that's the one. That's what we
Didn't
wrote.
skip though.
It didn't skip. It went
just
brute
overrode
force.
Yeah, it blew it away. So we got change approval policy, which I had the change table, not the approval policy in the.
Yep.
Now the way we could test that, right? Because we had the default version, so we could always revert, right? Back.
Yeah. So that middle one is the one you made directly in this instance, so it overrode it. So there's the conflict resolution is that
there is
just
none.
overrode it.
Oh yeah, Upside Down Andrew saying it's actually he wanted to see a skip record.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good point. That's right. I wanted to preview it because I knew there was a problem, but I guess
if someone's messing around in production, they deserve what they get.
I mean, I think the real scenario is you have somebody that randomly uses an update set, or maybe you've got, multiple dev instances and
multiple dev instances. I could see being a potential problem. And that might be more of a use case for source control then. But if someone's using an update set, again, I'm going to go on a theory that it's recorded in the update set, but it's also recorded in your files list on the sysapp record.
Yeah.
So it's going to get to that repo one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I talked to a customer one time, and we were talking about, like during the upgrade process. So maybe their prod instance is on Paris and their dev instance is on, they've got test and dev on Quebec, but they cloned, prod over a QA instance so that during their upgrade process, they could still, make changes to something and push to prod. So that could be a scenario here where you have, you're doing maybe an update on a QA instance on something that's really high priority that you can't wait until you get prod upgraded.
Well, that sounds like a good segue. Let's see how this would work with source control. Do you have a repo hooked up?
Yeah, I do. So let's see here. LCHH demo.
Good name.
Yeah, right. So let's go back to our author instance, and instead of hooking this app up, let's create an app. How about that?
There you go.
Let's do it. Create application. Now, Chuck, you want me to use Git and not ServiceNow app repo, right?
Sure.
Okay.
I want to know what happens.
All right, let's do it.
So you want to move this through Git is what you're saying?
Yeah. Because that will tell you if there's things to pull down. Even if somebody changed it in production, Git won't recognize it unless they do a push, a commit.
All right, we'll use an existing table. Not going to create another one, but it's my karaoke app, so I can be cool like Chuck.
No, please don't spend 18 months of your life invested in one app that nobody uses.
It's a great story, man, I have to say. All right, so we're going to link it to my source control. For those who've not done this, what? Oh, wait a minute.
You got to get your credentials over there.
Yeah, I think it'd be quicker to just do it in my instance. Give me just a second.
All right.
Yeah, let's go.
Little hand waving and we go to a different instance.
Yeah, we'll go to my Now Geeks instance. All right, so we're going to throw up a dev and a prod instance like we had before. Instead, I call it dev and prod. And, the other instances were author and client, but
we're challenging Jeremy to go places he hasn't gone yet.
Never before.
How many instances can you open up?
That's the point of this show.
I almost wonder, to your point, let me just do this. Let's just do this. No.
Oh, we have shrubbery.
Oh yeah, if you don't want to expose something, we can put up some privacy shrubbery.
I don't think it does a preview of the character, so just a quick note for those using Git and using basic auth, it goes away in August. So just so you know. From
Git, that's a Git thing.
Yep.
What are they using an API key or OAuth?
Probably. I didn't see I didn't take time to read it, but I will say that I got the nasty gram as soon as I hit my repo. It was like, you need to stop this right now. So
Even if you have MFA.
I didn't have MFA, so maybe that's
Okay.
the problem. All right, so I'm gonna set it up here. Basic off. I think this is quicker. Nope. And if we got any hackers out there that get my password, then kudos to you.
I put up some privacy shrubbery. So
Oh, thank you.
And then take it down.
I appreciate that. All right,
It's just fun to play with.
All right.
We haven't seen it in a while.
I know.
All right, so we got our app that I created in demo in our author account. So let's link it up to some source control. Let's get my instance there. And my branch.
Master. Start. No, just go master. Take that all out. Master.
Isn't it main now?
I haven't. The last one that I
Git changed their default.
Oh, maybe they did. We'll find out shortly.
I mean, it'll work. I think whatever.
Success.
Okay. So you're able to import it.
Well, yeah. So I linked it, right? Yep. So, sorry.
You have a menu and modules, but the modules don't point to anything.
Oh yeah, it's a simple app. You know, it's got to start somewhere. All right, so back here, open up. So we're in our author. Excuse me, need to get out of author. We're in our client instance. And import.
Okay. Oh. Does not contain an application file to import.
Did I not push it? What happened?
No, not publish. You want commit from source control.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing there. Do a refresh on the screen. I've seen the source control menu get out of sync sometimes. Nope.
I'm gonna apply remote changes. Well, I tell you what, let me create another file.
There aren't any remote changes to apply. The little arrow in the lower right doesn't have the down arrow. The little outlet plug.
Odd. There we go.
Okay,
Commit changes.
we're on the author. This is your sudo prod, and you're pushing those back to the Git repo?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. For whatever reason, is it because I linked it? Well, no, after I created it, so it's only going to capture that change. That's weird.
I'm getting more, as much as I love the app repo for pushing applications, I'm getting more friendly with using Git to move things between instances.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I blame Andrew and Brad because the dev program instance is using that. The challenge is, and it's a real challenge, is sometimes they're doing development on other instances other than dev program dev.
Yeah. I don't know why it's not working. I think we'll have some, no application file to import. Why?
What does that mean? The only thing I can think it means is it can't find the sys under app record, but it's there. Yes, no?
So let's see. We got master.
Look and see if it's in the files.
Help me, I don't play in Git. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure where you went. Go back and click LCHH demo on your breadcrumbs there where it says I geek for you.
Yeah,
LCHH demo. Should take you to the top
Sorry,
level.
what are we doing right now? I had to step away.
We're trying to find out. There's actually nothing in this repo. You sure you pushed it to this one?
Well, yeah. Let me try again. Author instance.
Just edit the repository configuration real quick.
LCHS demo, master branch.
And if it pushed, where's the stuff in the repo? Why doesn't Git recognize there's any files? Screen refresh, maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Brad, you know?
Command R. There are no files in here other than the readme.md. So where did it publish them?
You got initial commit and a business rule.
Okay. So why didn't we see any file? You should have had like the top folder that said updates or something.
Yeah. So back to studio.
Do you need to accept the push from Git? Generally, you don't.
File import. I mean, that's what we did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Andrew says it may be in a different branch.
Oh, that's true. What branch were we looking at? Maybe it was the main master thing that Brad was talking about. Okay, so go to.
So you have base main. Yeah.
These base
there
main.
is a main and a master. So if you go back to
the default is
root.
When did that change?
Oh, okay, that's the problem. Okay.
Yeah, we're on the wrong branch. Go to our files are over on master.
So I need to push the branch main, right?
So note to self, kids. ServiceNow is going to default to like instance name / something something something, and there we go.
Switch to main. Repository is not contain an application.
Okay,
file.
well let's go to Git and see what's out there.
Because the main is empty, right?
Main is empty, but we tried to switch to master and it said the same thing. So
well, let's merge them.
Ooh, now we're talking advanced Git stuff.
Yeah, how do I do that?
Walk us through, Brad.
Back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do compare and pull request, I believe. I'm not a Git master. I just have done some things.
Declan is saying the same thing. He might be our expert. Need to pull from master to main.
Yeah, just hit create pull request.
You can open a pull request on the master from the last push and merge it, I think.
Now hit
merge pull.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff is just kind of happening in the background. You don't have to get this deep.
You're all set. The master branch can be safely deleted.
Okay.
You should be able to switch to main on
and see the files there.
Now.
Okay, so should I delete the branch then?
Sure, why not? It's not a high priority. It's not a mission critical app if everything falls apart. Okay, and we are on the master branch here, so we need to switch to main. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
what now it'll let me because there's an app file there, right? Mm-hmm.
So let that be a lesson. If you see that note about no application file, you may be on the wrong branch. And GitHub has changed the default branch from master to main, which I think makes more sense.
All right.
But I'm an old C programmer from the 80s, so don't trust me.
So now that the file's there, right, theoretically, we should be able to pull it now. Is that right? Source control, import.
Branch, main. And it's fewer characters, which we all love.
Yes.
Now it's feeling more like live code happy hour. We couldn't let you get out here in 15 minutes on a success.
Oh, no way. I don't know if we, yeah, there we go. My karaoke. Now, I don't know if we have time, Chuck, but do you want to do the ServiceNow app repo push? It is a little bit different than the store example that we did earlier.
Yes, we've got time.
Yeah.
All right, let's rock and roll through that. All right, just to validate.
How does this differ from what you did before? The app repo versus the ServiceNow? What?
Yeah. Well, let me demonstrate. So where you go to pull it. So the push is no different, right? So earlier so let's go back to our author.
You did file publish before, right?
Yeah. So file publish, And it still uses app repo, but you can do to the store from
I
here.
thought you had to be a TPP, a technology
You
partner program person. Okay.
Right. I can't demonstrate that, but I just wanted to call out that you could.
Oh, gotcha.
Before the example, right? We when we went to pull our app, we selected the store app to customize, right? But
Yeah.
instead, we want to push something, a non-store app, right? So something that we've created. So for instance, testing enhancements is something that I created before the show, just kind of walking through it. So if we were to create an application file here,
Mm-hmm.
all right, same thing, we're going to push it. Let's see here. We'll do, I don't remember what my last number was.
If it doesn't work, we'll blame it on the missing fields from the business rule field, the form. There's something wrong with this instance, and that's going to be our scapegoat.
Right. So it really, the difference is this is an application that I created. The other one was a store app that I pulled down, made changes to, and then in pushing into my environments. Right?
Okay, which we've always had this capability of making a scoped, well, always as a Fuji, making a scoped app and then pushing it to the app repo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I think
was, go ahead.
The big difference is with the store app with the new app customizations. It's like extending that app and you're pushing your customization app basically is what's moving through the repo.
Yeah, and so the where you're going to go is different. So from the store application that you pulled, made changes to, pushed, and now we're going to go try to get, oh gosh, now it's going to spin. Okay. Before we went to all applications, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we pulled it up and it was like any other store app that was in the applications list to pull. But now we're actually going to go to my company applications, a little bit different.
The filtered list.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you started it,
yes,
it's going to show up in my company applications.
Yes.
If it was extended from a store app, it's going to be all. But
yes.
aren't my company applications included in all?
I did not see them earlier. I could be completely wrong. It is definitely a different user experience, right? So you can see that we've got a little bit of an orange here, tells us what version it's on. It shows
I like that.
Shows that we're 1.0 installed. Now we're going to jump to 1.2.1.
We don't have the whole base version and whatnot because there is no base version. You are in control of what those versions are.
You're moving the whole app. There's no base app for this.
Yep.
So then we update, which is very similar, right? You get a little bit different notification when you try to do it.
This is familiar territory.
But the end result, obviously, is that you got your app to modify, right? Studio. So just a little bit different. I wanted to call out the difference between the two because I found myself going to all applications and looking and it looking different and feeling different. So I just wanted to call that out for anybody who might be a little bit newer to this. So.
Yeah, I mean the app customization functionality is exciting because you're finally in a spot where you don't have to use update sets if you don't want to. You can do everything you need to do without update sets starting in Quebec because we closed this, customizing a store app box.
So why would somebody still want to use update sets if we've got a way to do this with global apps? We've got a way to do this with scoped apps. We've got a number of ways you can do this without using update sets. And they all went silent.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Nothing.
I think so a lot of customers have like pretty mature processes for using their update sets. So I mean, just the process of changing can be an obstacle. And yeah, I had another thought. But
I got a use case.
Let's hear it.
You've been working on this app since 2019, karaoke, and it's got thousands of files in it. Publishing those through the app repo takes forever. I mean, it takes me like 45 minutes to push a new version, even if I just update a list layout. So an update set would be much quicker.
It's a good point.
The speed and performance. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I've almost been tempted to just go, screw it, I'm exporting XML, and I've only got one file. Even an update set would be slower than just going export XML, import XML, done.
Well, I think it just goes to the fact that, or to the point that we sometimes over engineer things in IT. We create a solution to make something theoretically more simple, but you kind of overlook the simple use cases in the process, therefore making IT in general, making things a little harder than it should be, right? I've always
yeah. Some of it is use case specific, and like Brad said, some people have mature processes around the legacy technology, but we're also looking at scalability. How can I make this easier for people to do at scale? And it's not update sets.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing we haven't really touched on is our CI/CD automation.
Ooh.
Where a lot of this stuff can now be automated, where we don't necessarily have that available for. Let me switch this back. Have that available for.
Sorry, Brad, I threw you a curveball.
No worries. Yeah. So, right. So you can do, when I publish an app to my source control, it, runs some automated tests. And then, if everything passes, it goes ahead and publishes it to the repo to my test instance and runs some stuff there too. So a lot of options. So we did have some comments from people, like Steve says, old habits die hard, which is definitely true.
Guilty.
Phil says moving data via update sets. I mean, that's a great point. If you want to include some data in your move one time, you don't necessarily want to make that piece of data a part of your app forever. That could be a good one.
That's fair. I was going to say, because there is the ability when you go to a list and you go check, you'd say create application file, and it will throw it in there. But that's always going to be when you publish, you have to say include demo data. He's like, yes, include the demo data.
Yeah.
Which you have the option of including or not including. So similar functionality without having to add on that hack that says add to update set that everybody likes to do. I personally get sick of seeing the same UI action on every record. It's not available out of the box, and people go, why is that on your demo? So I'm scarred by doing too many public-facing demos. That's one reason why you don't see Explore on a lot of my instances. I really want it now.
Yeah, so we have there's another, not a question, but Phil has a pretty good use case here where it's somebody who's been making changes to a store app before Quebec and has pushed those, and how does that work once then they upgrade to Quebec and now they have this functionality? How does that work moving forward? And I think maybe that's the reason that we're not doing the compares. We're not doing like a diff when you publish something from that app customization to prod, because maybe it was already customized and it's not in your app customization.
Yeah, I would hope that you could start doing those changes going forward without the update sets and just use the app repo or Git to do that going forward. Otherwise, you're going to have this double standard of, oh, was this a store app we used to modify in update sets? Well, we have to keep doing that forever now. That doesn't seem right, but I don't know the answer to that yet.
Yeah, I mean, my thought is that you can still use this. There's just going to be this like time period of before you used it, and it's going to be probably hard to go back and look at historical, when did all of this happen? But it'll still work the new way.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks
I appreciate it.
I've been wanting to explore this deeper since we mentioned it on Tech Now back in January. It's like, that looks really cool.
You gave me the opportunity to learn some new things and stumble and figure things out. So it's been great.
We've been having lots of Slack chats in the last 24 hours.
Yeah. Why doesn't this work?
We verified that a Paris store can service Quebec clients.
Nice.
Because every time we add a new client or go to another release, someone says, oh, you're going to have to update all your store apps. And it's a process we call side loading, where you're just taking a zip file and importing it. It's like activating a plugin, but it's not in a plugin list. So it's like, you need the 3.9.5 files. Okay. And fortunately, Jeremy goes, here's my 2 instances. Go add them to the store. Like, okay, throw the holy water on this thing, because here we go. And comes back 20 minutes later. It's working. I went, oh, right, it is.
It was supposed to,
Just like I set it up, of course. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Thanks, Jeremy. This was great. I think we had some great discussion out of this one. Chats.
Update sets are always a great discussion.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and rate our drinks. Chuck, go ahead.
Ooh. You know, I usually don't go for the nut brown ales, and maybe that's just a different brand, but this one, Oak Creek Brewing Nut Brown Ale, I like it. I like it a lot, and we had some victory points on here as well. Jeremy, we usually give about a 1/4 point extra credit for a win, and I call today a win. I did get some hints of like coffee and stuff coming through here. Maybe that was your subliminal suggestion, Brad, but I was trying to read the label. Sometimes they put a little description on here, but this one does not have it. For a 5.5 ABV, maybe I'm hungry. This is hitting me hard. Or maybe it's the success factor. I know I'm dragging the boat anchor here, but it is, I'm going to give this a 4.5 today. That is really good.
Wow. All right. Jeremy, how about yours?
Yeah, is this a out of 5 scale?
Out of 5. It's
out of
the
5
untapped rating.
Well,
Yeah, 1/4 point.
I think the symbol for mine is that I'm down to ice. So
And you did the presenting. That's a hard thing to do, is drink and present.
Yeah.
I'm down to ice here, so I'm gonna say the Pink Lady by New Amsterdam is a solid 5.0 for me.
Wow! Wait, we need
Of course, people make fun of me. I mean, I like fruity drinks. I'm not like I don't sip scotch.
I do too, man. I'll drink.
I'll go ahead and turn in my man card. It's okay. I drink the New Amsterdam Pink Lady with some fresh
margaritas, daiquiris. You know,
Drink what you like.
How many? Don't I lost count of how many hurricanes I put down at Knowledge 12 on Bourbon Street.
All right. Well, I've got. I had this Avery Brewing Tweak the barrel aged. It was really good. I think I'm gonna give it a 4.75, which I think I've only given one other drink.
I thought I was gonna be the highball, and I'm the low ball.
It was excellent. So yeah, 4.75.
Nice.
All right. Well, thanks, Jeremy, for joining us. Thanks, Chuck, and thanks everybody who followed along and engaged in the chat. And we'll see you again next week.
Take care, everybody. Stay safe.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.